Thanks for downloading this special Thundercast episode. We have a huge event coming up this weekend. It's Fans First Day over at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. And in just a minute, we're going to welcome in Ryan Crisp, the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement for Marshall, to give us all the details on this Fans First initiative, the mindset that has changed in the athletic department a little bit, what it means for you, and really some of the cool events that are going to be coming up throughout the year. So we can't wait to get him in there. But before we do that, let's get a quick word from our sponsors at 304carwreck.com. If you've been hurt in a wreck, visit 304carwreck.com on the web or on Facebook. Jason and Matt are experienced injury lawyers in Huntington who practice throughout West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. They can't protect you from bad drivers, but they will make sure you're treated fairly by the insurance companies. Find them at 304carwreck.com. Joining us today is Ryan Crisp, the Associate Athletic Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement for the Herd. And he's going to spend a little bit of his afternoon talking about this Fans First initiative and all of the cool stuff that it means for Herd fans. So Ryan, thanks for sitting down with us for a couple minutes and giving us the lowdown on the Fans First initiative.
For sure. First off, thanks to you guys for taking the time to spend it with me, and also what the Thundercast has done over the last, whatever it's been, 12 to 14 to 16 months, spreading the word of the Herd, Big Green, tickets, Thunder, trust, all the things. It's been good. And the amount of people that have reached out to me and said, oh, I've heard on the Thundercast that I can do X, Y, and Z, or I heard it went on sale through the so all that's been great. So thank you guys for volunteering your time to do what you do and make us a little better every day. So it's been great. But yeah, Fans First is a mindset that we'll dive into in a little bit. But our first Fans First day is Saturday, 5:30 to 7. It used to be the football fan day where fans could come get autographs, team posters, pictures with football players. All that's still the same. We're just including all the fall sports. So soccer's are going to be there, volleyball's going to be there, cross country is going to be there. And our goal is just for our student athletes to engage with our fan base on a different level. And so it's great that you can come get a poster and you can come get it autographed. But we want you to get to know that student athlete. We want the student athlete to introduce themselves. We want you to take a picture with them. We want to, if you want to do a TikTok dance with them, ask them to do a TikTok dance. We're going to have stations set up and games set up at every sports location where you can play soccer with the soccer players. You can throw the football with the football players. Probably my favorite one, the one I'm looking forward to the most, is you can do a potato sack race with the cross country runners. Obviously, we didn't know what we wanted to do with cross country. We weren't going to be like, yeah, go run a mile for student athletes. I don't know if anyone would do that. So potato sack races are going to be fun. We'll have the trophies down there. You'll be able to get some pictures with those, and just have a good time. We'll have music. Coaches will be down there. Marco's going to be there. I know Marco was missing a little bit last year, so we got Marco back and on the right path. And so Marco's going to be there, and he'll be on the field for pictures and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun day, and I'm excited for Saturday and hope everyone's able to come out.
Yeah, Fan Day was always a favorite of mine. It used to fall around my birthday. It fell on my birthday a couple times. That was always a great treat for me personally. And I'll tell you what, we talked about this on the show, maybe, I don't know, the most recent show, Russ, and this just makes so much sense, right? To incorporate more than just the football team. While everybody loves to get their time with the football team, it makes so much freaking sense to incorporate every other fall sport. And I love the point that you said about learning what these athletes look like out with a helmet off or without a jersey on, because these guys and gals are out and about around town. So it's cool to be able to recognize and say hi and thank them for working hard and all they do for the Herd. So I love this Fans First initiative, man. This is going to be a great event. It's taking what was already awesome and just elevating it to another level. And I got to tell you this, it's really great for Russ and I to hear that people are actually listening to the show and coming and contacting you to buy tickets, join the Big Green. How can we make donations? We're trying our hardest, man, to let folks know that it's so easy to get involved and buy tickets. So thanks for telling us that. We ain't going to stop doing what we're doing because we love doing it, man, for sure.
Yeah, and Ryan, one of the things that I heard on there, and you haven't talked about it yet, and I'll give you an opportunity, but we're entering on Saturday through the Fan Zone store, and that store will be open. And I think that's great because you have an event there. You've got a great opportunity for fans to load up on gear before tailgating season, before that first game, then get some official gear, some Kelly Green gear if you've got some outdated Hunter Green or other shades, but I love that. Just the little details about this thing. It's been well thought out.
For sure, yeah. There's two things I'll touch on there. One, we did take licensing and branding in house in athletics, and so now the gear that you see in stores, the gear that you're able to purchase, will look more like what our gear looks like. So the herd logo will be on more things. It'll be more athletic mindset when it comes to designing the articles of clothing that are out there. And so we've developed a really great relationship with Follett, who controls our on-campus bookstore and the team store. And they're offering 10% to anyone that comes on Saturday, and whatever you want to purchase, 10% off. And so it's great that they're on board and incorporating that store more. I mean, it's a prime location. I mean, it's right there, and it was open 6 times a year. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to expand that. We're going to get open on Friday nights before game days. Obviously, it's going to be open on game days, and we're going to find a way to get people into our stadium more often, have them come through that store, and just see the different stuff's out there. And as mentioned, if you have the old stuff, get some of the new stuff. Yeah. And so it's going to be great. And then the second thing for Saturday, which is going to be great, is a school supply drive. So one of the things we talked about is how can we help the community. And in this time of year, I think school supplies are in need everywhere, whether it's from teachers having to buy supplies for their classroom out of their own pocket, or just youth in the area that aren't able to have certain supplies. And so we're excited to allow fans to come in, bring school supplies. They will all get donated to local Calhoun County schools. And then if you do bring an item, you are going to get a ticket offer for a football game that you'll be able to utilize as a little thank you for bringing something. So yeah, trying to incorporate everybody, trying to incorporate the community, engage our fans, and hopefully maybe find some new people out there that wouldn't normally come to this event that will come now.
Yeah.
You're hitting all the boxes, Ryan. You're helping the herd fans. You're helping the community as a whole. Getting folks into the herd zone, the herd fan shop. Now, look, let me ask one little house cleaning thing here. Everything that you can buy in the stadium fan shop is the same stuff that's in the campus bookstore, right? So you are still able to get that correct color shade, that same gear. So if the fan shop's closed, you can still head into the student center and get it in the bookstore, right?
Yep, you sure can. Or their online store as well. Their online store, they've improved quite a bit. And so, I think at other sporting events, the bookstore has been able to set up some, not all. We're going to make it possible where you're going to be able to buy gear at all of our sporting events this year. Yeah. And it may not be where you swipe your credit card and we hand you a shirt in person, but you're going to see a shirt in a mannequin and go, wow, I really like that. Scan the QR code, order it. You can pick it up the next day in the bookstore kind of thing. So, great relationship with them, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I actually was on the bookstore website last night. If you can't tell, I was looking for hats. This one's run its course, but I just can't seem to throw it away, man. I love it. But let's talk about some more of this Fans First stuff, right? Because it's not just Fans First Day and then it's over and that's a wrap. Let's talk about some things like you've designated games as Fans First games. Can you give us a lowdown on some of those?
For sure. So what used to be called exhibition games, or we no longer use the word exhibition. It is Fans First Games. What that is free admission, that is promotion, that is fun in the stands, that is maybe some different things that we can't do during a normal game that we'll be able to do during these games. One example of that is volleyball is letting us play music throughout the entire game. So there'll be a constant music on in the background, which may seem like a small thing, but when you're trying to engage a fan base, that's a huge part of it right there. Is playing music in the background. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. Our goal, as we'll get to in a second, is creating fans. And we feel like if we open our doors for these games and we blow them out of the water, we will have a giveaway at the door of every one of these Fans First games, something you won't be able to get anywhere else. It will only be when you come to these games. We're going to create a fan, and we're going to have so much fun that maybe someone that hasn't been to one of our games is going to show up and they're going to have a great time. Then they're going to end up buying tickets and they get put in the process, they get put in the wheel. And so, obviously season ticket holders, I hope they show up. I hope they bring a friend. I hope they bring a neighbor. it's going to be great. We got women's soccer on August 9th. So next week they got one at 6 o'clock against Cincinnati, the fans' first game. And then the following week, men's soccer is August 17th. And then volleyball is the Friday night, 6 o'clock against Ohio on the 18th. And so they're going to be loads of fun. We're going to do certain promotions that we can't do, like I said, normally during a normal game where there's NCAA rules involved, and we got to, let the game be played as is. But I won't give away too much, but it'll be a different experience, a fun experience, and fans are going to love it.
Yeah, I bet they are, man. There's got to be more to come. I love this. This is another one of those things. Love to have been a fly on the wall in these meetings and brainstorming sessions, because on paper, this looks like it's an amazing list of ideas, and I can't wait to see it get executed and then become even bigger and better next year. We are so on the right track with capturing a new era and a younger era of fans. We know we've needed that for a long time, but you talked about ticket sales and we talked about the Big Green just a little bit. Obviously, there's got to be an opportunity to buy tickets and join the Big Green and get involved at these events, right? Or
For
also,
sure.
right?
Yep. Every event we do, you will have the opportunity to purchase tickets, join the Big Green, and as well as Kids Club. So as you can probably tell by this whole conversation, kids are our focus. That's who we want to create a fan. And so our Kids Club has been rebranded. We'll launch it publicly probably today or tomorrow. Wendy's has hopped on and at another level and really come forward along with Playmates Preschool. And we are going to be able to do more. They're going to get more. They're going to have a better experience. And so we are excited to relaunch Kids Club. So that'll be another entity that you see at a lot of places, where if you have a child under 12 years old, you're going to want to get them in Kids Club because the value of it is going to well outweigh the cost of it. And so it's going to be great. And that just helps us overall, creating fans, getting people to games, all the stuff we're looking to do.
100%, man. We just had a conversation with Ben Westfall, the president of the Stampede.
Yep.
We're trying to engage more of the student body to become those rabid fans. You guys are targeting the youth in the area and the younger graduate and just that next era, right? And it's so important. So let's talk about where this whole fans first idea and mindset came from. Who came to the table and said, look, we love what we're doing, but here's how we can do it. I've been looking at XYZ and this is where it's at. How did it all start?
Yeah, so the team that probably did start it and where it came from was the Savannah Bananas. So Jesse and Emily Cole owned a team in North Carolina, wasn't doing very well. They went to Savannah, Georgia one time, fell in love with it. The old Savannah team was not called the Bananas, came up for sale, and they purchased it. Had no money. They slept in the ballpark. They lived in the ballpark. And the first thing they did was they let the fans vote on the team name. And that was the first time they got national attention. It was everywhere. And they were called the Savannah Bananas. And so Jesse Cole and his wife, Emily, created the company Fans First Entertainment. And their goal is to create fans. For a long time, not only at Marshall, but at a lot of places, and this applies to athletics or if you own a heating and plumbing business or whatever it may be, you're chasing customers. We no longer want to chase customers. If we're trying to chase a customer, we're never going to catch up. We want to create a fan. We have some great data that we're able to use, that we're using a lot more than we ever have before. And if you look at our fan base, we are 8% older and 65 plus compared to the national average. But from 24 to 35, we're 12% lower. And that's an alarming number, especially when you think about we're a university, and when those kids graduate college at 22 years old, they're not a fan. We didn't engage them as a fan or as a student when they were here, so now they walk away and they're not a fan. And so that's why we are adopting this mindset, is to create a fan to 12 years old. If we can create a 12-year-old fan that loves Marshall, one, that's going to influence their parents, and two, in 10 years from now, our fan base is going to double because of the amount of kids that we have invested into Marshall Athletics and Marshall University. So our goal is to create fans and stop chasing customers. The way that's broken down and what we live by every day is there's 5 E's. The first E is probably the hardest one for us and the one that's going to take the most amount of time, but it's eliminating friction. So what can we do to eliminate the friction point with our customers? Some things that come to the top of my mind is last year you went on our parking lot on the main west lot and you couldn't see the spot numbers. You didn't know where you were. You didn't know how to get to the spot. So we fixed that issue. The number one issue I hear the most by far is game day experience and communication at football games. So we'll have the PA announcer talking while the band's trying to play a song, while the crowd's doing "We Are Marshall," and it's all over the place. Unfortunately, that sounds easier to fix than it is, just because of the communication between the different areas. But we are going to fix that. And when the crowd starts "We Are Marshall," I promise you, we will stop what we're doing, whether we got a PA read to read or we got something going on. We will stop what we're doing, because "We Are Marshall" is our backbone, and that's what means the most to us. That's a story that no one else can tell, is "We Are Marshall." There's a lot of schools that say "We Are," whatever they are. It don't mean the same thing that it means here. And so we will stop what we are doing. There are bills to pay. We have to have PA reads. We have to do certain things for our wonderful sponsors. But we'll get it in. We'll in the past, we've had a script and we've gone through it. No matter what's happening, here's what we do. We don't do that anymore. Depending on what's going on in the game, we will do certain things in moments and not do certain things in moments. So eliminating friction is number one. There's a lot of friction points. I understand that. I try to put myself in our customer shoes, our fan shoes, and see what is a friction point. And the one we're going to focus on this year is communication and game day experience. That's what we're going to help eliminate right now. Second E is entertain always. So we want to entertain our fans at all times. From the moment that they hear about Marshall University and Marshall Athletics to when they're at our game, we got to entertain them that whole time. One thing that we're focusing on this year, once again, is the game day experience. So we created herd fan rules that you will have to be followed if you want to be at our game. These will be at all of our complexes. There'll be big signs. You're going to know the rules of the game. We will send it out to everyone that purchases the ticket, so you know the rules of the game. The number one rule, the easiest rule, is always cheer as loud as possible for the herd. It seems like a no-brainer, but that's number one rule. Number two is sing as loud as you want. When we play songs, we want you to sing. Number three coincides, you got to dance as much as you want. So every time a song's on, you're going to be dancing. We will have voted singing and dance alongs this year in football. So for the week of the game, you go on social media, you can vote for whatever song you want to be played, and we're going to sing to that song, and we're going to dance to a different song, and we're going to have a good time. Next rule is anytime you're in the concourse, you have to high five at least one other herd fan. So we're not just walking through the concourse anymore, doing whatever we're doing. We're going to talk to other herd fans. We're going to engage with them, and you got to high five at least one. Hopefully every herd fan you see, you're giving high fives, but at least one herd fan you will be high fiving in the concourse at all of our venues. Screaming "Go Herd" at least 5 times is mandatory. I feel like most of our fans probably reached out already, but that is a mandatory rule now. Taking pride in participating in "We Are Marshall," we just talked about it. That's a tradition. That is a cheer that, sure, other schools say it. It doesn't mean anything else close to what it means here. So taking pride when that moment happens and participating in it and understanding where you're at when it's happening. And then the final one is stay until the whistle blows. That came from the movie. Until that final whistle blows, you're going to be in the stands. You're going to be cheering loud. And so those are our rules. So that's our entertain always. That's how we came up with it. To your point, the meetings earlier, I have a big whiteboard, 2-sided whiteboard in my office, and people will just come in at random times to write things down, and that's how it gets started. And then all of a sudden you have 100 things on the whiteboard, and then we start picking and choosing and going from there. So those are our rules. That's entertain always. That's the second E. Third E is experiment constantly. So we want to experiment in everything we do. We're going to do things that don't work. We understand that. We're going to do things that people are going to go, that was a bad one. You messed that one up. The number one example I'll give of that probably hurt a lot of people's hearts, and I apologize for it, was the April Fool's joke about the baseball stadium construction stopping. That was a good one. It got the engagements. It got what we wanted. But that hurt a lot of people the wrong way because of the history and where that stadium is. But you know what? It's real. It's here. It's happening, and it's about 80% done over there in a short period of time. And so that's one where we experimented and we probably went wrong. Where we went right was in basketball. We did the 3-point shot on the roster cards, and the band members took the 3-point sign and ran it down. When that idea came up, I was like, that's crazy. What are we doing? We can't do that.
I loved it.
And our fans ate it up. I mean, it was the most thing that we heard. They talked about it. So it was great. That's experimenting constantly. We're going to do things. We're going to try things. Number 4, engage deeply. So we got to engage with our fans. If we're going to create a fan, we got to engage with the fan. We can't expect them to go online, buy a ticket, come to the game, and automatically they're going to be a fan. We have to do something special for them to feel connected to Marshall University, Marshall Athletics, and our athletic program. So we're going to engage deeply with our fans. And then the fifth one is more than just a marketing mindset. It's engage or empower action, which is more of an employee thing. So Christian has come here and he's empowered his employees to get the job done. So he'll give you a task and say, go. Just go. If you run into a roadblock and you need help, let me know. But if not, just go. You don't have to ask me for approval on every little thing. Go do your thing. Make it happen. Make it happen is number one thing, by the way. So make it happen. And part of that is just a growth mindset. In the marketing world specifically, we had one full-time employee for 18 sports.
Yeah.
And that just don't work. That just don't work. So we are growing. We've added 3 full-time positions, and we are going to expand our student internship program to get a lot more people in here and empower action and let people go to work and do what they want to do and do what they think is going to work. So those are the 5 E's. That's our mindset. That's Fans First. All came from Jesse Cole, who owns the Savannah Bananas. If you YouTube him, he's got a podcast. He's got books out. We've all read the book in our department. And it's just a great mindset to have and a great way to attack this thing.
Yeah, that's a global phenomenon, right? So a banana ball. So that's a great model to go after. And we understand, Russ and I particularly understand what it means to be a true college town and how difficult it can be when you're not in the middle of this huge metropolitan area or a part of this massively large conference that just has seemingly unlimited resources. So you have to get a little creative, and the creativity coming out of these offices, your offices, and this administration has been off the charts in the short amount of time that Christian's been here than I can remember collectively ever in my herd experience. So we're definitely trending in the right direction. I think what we're doing is capturing what you're hoping to capture. For sure. And I love that you said, we're going to try some things that aren't going to work. Yep. Because you can't be afraid to screw up, right?
Right.
We know it's going to happen. I mean, how many times do Russ and I screw up on episodes?
One time. Just once.
But I like that. And the eliminating friction thing for me is huge, because even we as non-Marshall employees run into, I got burned by the ticket office years ago and I'm a little gun shy, or I got burned here and I don't really donate because of XYZ. And you've recognized that, you've identified it, and now we're moving towards a new era. Folks, you got to give them a chance to do right by you again. We've been telling you this for years. If you've got questions, you can call Ryan. Ryan's going to talk to you. He's going to talk you through it. And anybody else you get a hold of in that office, they're going to work with you to figure it out and make it right and get you to where you feel good about buying season tickets, supporting the herd, donating, and just getting involved. So we've talked about what we've done. What's next? Right after this, after the Fans First Day and the Fans First games, what's on the burner?
Yeah, I think just from our standpoint is growing this thing. We have to find a way. We have a great fan base. We have great supporters. We have great season ticket holders. We got to find a way to expand this beyond the football and the men's basketball. There's a lot of great sports out here. There's a lot of great student athletes that are working hard every day, and we got to find a way to get these. To get the crowds at these other games. And so we're going to work hard on that. I'm sure a lot of you have seen our Meta, our Facebook advertising. When you go on Facebook, I hope you see Kim Stevens or Ari Agnes. Every time you pull it up, I hope you're seeing their video or their graphic or whatever it may be. We're trying to grow those sports. We are invested in growing those sports. The athletic department as a whole has made an investment in volleyball. They have a Terraflex court that is, one of a handful of schools that are able to play on that. From a women's basketball standpoint, we made a hire that is next level, that multiple schools were after, and she picked Marshall because she understood that with President Smith and Christian, their mindset and their determination to make our women's basketball program the best in the country, that she wanted to come here and do that. You look at our track and field program, we added men's track and field back. We just hired a new director for that program to oversee the track and field and cross country programs. Softball, we just hired arguably the most famous softball alumni that we have, and someone that's an absolute rising star, and we got her at the right moment. And she created a dynamic, a young staff that is going to be able to connect with athletes on a different level than maybe what other staffs could have done. So just growing this thing, we're building a brand new baseball stadium, which has been obviously the joking point of this town for a long time. And it's real. It's real. It's 80% done. I think they're laying turf next month, so our baseball team will be able to practice in there in the fall. And then come March 1st, here we go. It's going to be real. We got an opening game on March 1st, and it's going to be awesome. So just taking it and growing this thing. The eliminating friction part, there's a lot of friction points, and I get it. We got a long way to go there, but we're going to attack them one at a time, and we're going to make this thing great.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
I got something on eliminating friction, and it's a little bit different aspect of it, and it's championship funds, as they're called. Used to be booster, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people don't donate because they might not know how to, or they might not know it exists. And one of the things that you're going to be doing at the Fan First Day is you can sign up for that. They can find out, how can I help volleyball? How can I help softball? How can I help this? You can find out how to do that, how to get involved, and donate directly to those championship funds for the individual sports. You want to tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, for sure. So every sport has a specific championship fund, and every dollar raised in that fund goes directly to the program. And that head coach is able to use those funds however they see best fit. A lot of teams use them for team meals, team nutrition, team travel. A lot of them use it for just team events that connect them, bring them closer as a group. They're able to use it for maybe improving their locker room, whatever it may be. They're able to use those funds however they see fit. And we are going to do a better job of promoting those and letting people know that you can donate specifically to a sport. It's online right now. If you go to Big Green and Give Now, you'll see sport-specific giving, and the whole list comes up there, and you can pick what sport you want to give to. One thing that our Big Green office in Tyler Ferris is doing is creating little business cards for every sport. So when we have events like this, I don't think they'll be ready by Saturday, but for Herd Rally downtown on 9th Street Live, every athlete's going to have a business card that they're able to go, and they're going to go up to someone that they don't know and introduce themselves and say, hey, I'm Ryan Crisp. I'm a tennis player. I'm from wherever. What's your name? Where are you from? And just start a conversation. And they'll have a business card that they can hand to that person. And on that business card will be a QR code where you can buy tickets for that sport or donate specifically to that sport, learn more about that sport and their schedule and their roster and all that kind of stuff. So donating to our teams individually, if you have a passion for a certain sport, it's a great way to get involved. You get a personalized thank you letter from our coach, our head coach of that program, and you get invited to certain events that maybe you don't even know exist because it's only for those championship club members. So it's a great way to get involved. It's kind of the next level step. You join the Big Green, you support our student athletes, and then you start learning, oh, look, I can do that. And then you take that next step and donate to the programs specifically.
I love those initiatives. I think there are a lot of fans out there that aren't just a football fan. They love football, but my passion is really baseball. How can I specifically help the baseball team beyond the Big Green? And those funds go under those clubs go under the radar so much. It's tough, and I'm glad we're putting a little bit of a spotlight on there. We talk about it from time to time on our show because we care about the athletic department as a whole, right? We're not just football, men's basketball, baseball, soccer. We want them all, man. It was awesome to watch the tennis team go out and dominate this year. It was great to watch the return of men's track and have some SBC champions there. It was great to see Macy Majoy win 2 SBC championships for women's track and field. It was awesome, man. And folks, I wish more folks got pumped like we do to see that, because, man, I could never accomplish stuff like that. I'm just a regular dude from small town West Virginia who happens to have headphones and a mic, right? And I love talking about the herd. Let me ask you one question, Ryan, and then we can give you some of your afternoon back. Is there something cooking to do the same Fans First Day maybe for spring sports too?
Yeah, so for our winter sports, for basketballs and swimming and diving, we'll do it at Hoops in Huntington. The inaugural event was last year, and we learned a lot from that event, and I thought it was terrific last year. We're going to grow it a little bit. It's actually on September 28th. It's part of Homecoming Week, which is awesome. It's going to be part of the homecoming festivities. So on that Thursday night of Homecoming Week, we'll be Hoops in Huntington, downtown Pullman Square. Our basketball teams and our swim team will be there. And then, yes, we will do the same thing for spring sports, for our golf, our tennis, our softball and our baseball programs, track and field. And so we will invite them to some type of event. Obviously, I think it'll probably be centered around the baseball stadium, getting people to the stadium and coming out. But yeah, we will have a fans first day for our spring sports, 100%.
I love that, man. I love it. We were just talking about that. I thought, man, this is a great idea for the fall. Really hope they encompass that for the spring. We're going to have a really nice complex in a couple of years for sure over there with the dot and the jack kind of being sandwiched together, and what all's going on over there is going to be really awesome. Ryan, thanks for sitting down with us, man. If you got anything else you want to tell the folks about that is pressing, tickets, how to join the big, anything. No, you're good. Dang, I thought
I
for
mean,
sure
tickets are on sale. Come and get them.
Right.
We got them open. If you want Virginia Tech, you better get them soon. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I saw that the single games went on sale to everyone this afternoon, just a couple of maybe an hour or so ago. And I tweeted, if you want an awesome Stripe the Jones situation going on, it's got to be Kelly Green and White fans that are buying those tickets because, hey, Hokies can buy them now too, and we don't want that. So,
we don't want it.
Ryan, thanks for sitting down with us, man. We appreciate all the kind words that you're throwing our way about what we're doing for the herd. This is just, it's not even a labor of love. We just love doing it, man. We're two of the luckiest guys going in the herd fan base because we get to talk about the herd and people actually listen. That's still mind-boggling to me.
No,
Russ, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, just the only thing that I got is every time that I've ever had any kind of ticket question or anything, I've always gotten a very prompt answer from Ryan. He's as approachable and receptive to answering questions as we've ever had. He makes it easy over there. So fans, get your Virginia Tech tickets. App State is a hot ticket because they are sold out, and it's going for our allotments going quick. If you have anything related to joining the Big Green, any questions about any of that, reach out to Ryan. I can promise I've done it many times, probably a lot more than he would like me to do, and he's always been great.
We'll have links to the description on how to join the Big Green, the ticket office, and all the initiatives that there are links for down below. So it's really easy to find and get involved. Russ, take us out of here.
Yeah, no matter where you see us, if you see us at the Cam, if you see us at the Joan, or if you see us at Fans First Day, every single event they're having, no matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go herd.
Go herd. It's the Thundercats. We'll see you in a couple of days. Later.